What's up, everybody? This is Jester, and this is going to be a quick rant. I'm going to go all over the place because there's a lot going on, and I just want to shed some of my perspective. This is a remix of philosophy. It's a lot of different things happening in the world. I think right now the world is very polarized, especially in America. There's the left, there's the right, there's the extreme left, there's the extreme right. There's the idea that free thoughts are being persecuted. And I think that thoughts are engineered by various factors. Various mediums can amplify, validate, or even invalidate the thoughts that we have. First of all, thoughts are free in the sense that you are free in your brain to imagine the reality you want to live in. However, that's limiting in a way because some thoughts are rooted in the oppression of others. Some thoughts can be misguided based off of bad information. Bad information is free, just as good information. So how you understand the thoughts that you have and how they relate to other people makes a hell of a difference. And I think we can spend too much time with the passion that we feel. When we see something wrong, we want to speak out. And that's a very human instinct of us, to just want to defend what we find as wrong. And our understanding of wrong changes throughout time. If we look back at information and how people have received information and how people have validated some types of information, it's not always the best way, because our thoughts change. The more we grow, the more we expand, we understand some ideas are not actually good. Some ideas are actually very harmful. And I think if you ever had to ask yourself, seriously, whenever you heard somebody say something like, what? That's because you believe that what they said isn't true. And morality is a very abstract system of ideas that can be debated, subjugated. It kind of sometimes depend on where your mind is, what you validate based off of what you've been brainwashed to believe, or even taught to believe based off of what you favor the most. Confirmation bias, I'm not trying to go too far in the deep end here, but seriously, people believe a lot of different things, and those thoughts are not always good. And it's okay to challenge those ideas without being reckless, without being dismissive of the service of thought, because thoughts are like Play-Doh. Belief is like Play-Doh. And you can mold a mountain or you can just make it a rock. It depends really on how elastic things can be. You know, it's like a slingshot. So with the help of a cigarillo, I'll explain what I mean about a slingshot. See, a cigarillo, this is a cigarillo, right? A cigarillo is a leap for me. It's not going to get me high, but it's going to get me a bit further. If you've ever used a slingshot, you know a successful slingshot is based off of the elasticity, how elastic that band is what is going to get whatever is in that nest to go further. A slingshot is a cigarillo, because for me, I make poor slingshots when I smoke cigarillos, because it doesn't get me high, but it gets me a bit closer to where I want to go. It's a leap. Seriously? It depends on how far you're trying to go. Are you using a cigarillo slingshot, or are you trying to reach where the drones can't find you, up in the skyscrapers somewhere? Are you that high? Let me bring it back, because I know some of you may have probably fallen off, and that's okay. What I'm essentially saying is that seriously, it's okay to understand the tenets of knowledge. There are tenets, and I'm going to explain that briefly. We have passion, we have emotions inside of us, and I think it's good that more and more people are starting to break down what these emotions mean. But we're in this together. It ain't just you in this bitch. There's a bunch of people who feel a lot of different things who might not be getting the justice that they deserve. And it's up to us to grant that justice by listening and understanding how our thoughts influence the people around us. So we got to understand who we talking to. Seriously, serious. Understanding is only one of the elements of the pyramid, from the bottom to the top.
Remember,
which is recalling relevant knowledge from long-term memory.
Understand,
which is making sense of what you have learned.
Apply,
which is using the knowledge gained in new ways.
Analyze,
which is breaking the concept into parts and understanding how each part is related to one another.
Evaluate,
which is making judgments based on a set of guidelines. And last but not least, at the top,
Create,
which is putting information together in an innovative way. Thanks to Benjamin Bloom, along with a few of his collaborators, they published a framework known as the Bloom's Taxonomy. I think that this is a good basis for understanding the various tenets of knowledge. Back to Cigarillos for a second. An example of a good slingshot is when you just want to go to the corner store. You just take a walk there. You don't turn on the car or make sure that your bicycle has enough air in the tires. You just get up and go. Some things require a bit more distance and will get you there much higher. With these kinds of situations, it would be disingenuous to use a nest that offers a leap when you want to explore the airplanes up above. In any of these situations, belief remains like Play-Doh and can be elastic enough to take us close or far. It ultimately depends on how seriously serious you are about going where you want to go.
You can't go nowhere if you see 7 oh.
It's button therapy, baby.